Flipping heck, that didn't go to plan. 2k on the treadmill and the hamstring feels worse than ever.
How do you do?
Hello team, welcome to another video vlog. I'm a duathlete, retired triathlete, at the moment having a bit of a run focus, and I'm meant to be racing the mid-Cheshire 5k on Friday. Today is Tuesday. But if those of you who've been watching this video series will know, I picked up a bit of a hamstring niggle at the Clayton 10k a week ago. The test run on Sunday didn't go so well. I managed to run, but the spasms and the feeling, the hamstring was just getting worse and worse. So I really think a full bore 5k is not wise. It could destroy the whole season. So today, kind of a test set. I'm going to run, and I am at the moment following the Norwegian method. I'm only about 3 weeks in, so I'm on a voyage of discovery to find out what is my threshold, sub-threshold, paces, how to measure it with the 3 variables that I'm focusing on, which is heart rate, perceived effort, how it feels, and pace that I'm running. Amalgamate those together to judge where my threshold and sub-threshold pace is. Intensity, I should say, because it is an intensity, not a pace. That's just a variable. So I'm going to do, well, I'm aiming to do 3 times 10 minutes today as part of the Norwegian method. But overall though, the backdrop is, am I even able to run these 10-minute efforts on this key workout because of the hamstring? We'll find out. I'm going to warm up on the treadmill just to give the hamstring a bit of a test, see how it feels, and then get outside hopefully and do these 3 times 10 minutes on a circuit around the local park that I've got. One of the reasons why I started on this Norwegian method is the whole concept is you can train more regularly, you can get more key load sessions in, just the fact they're not quite so intense, so you can stack them up and not feel the, the harsh reality of the legs being totally trashed for 5-7 days after a key session, which is what I was experiencing. And I think in the 3 weeks I've been doing this kind of method, that's what I felt. I've not felt too mashed, if that's the right word. And I have done a few of the sessions, none of them really probably high volumes, things like 5-6 times 6 minutes, maybe 3 times 10 minutes. I haven't really ventured into that, which I'm going to try today. But just on that warm up now on the treadmill, I can feel a hamstring just doing that, and it makes it easy for me to make the call not to do the mid-Cheshire 5k. Not easy as in I'm happy with it, I'm not happy with it. The weather looks great, it's a fast course, fitness is somewhere okay-ish, so I'm looking forward to a blast over 5k, but it's not going to happen. I think have to dial back the running and get this hamstring fixed before I could, continuing running with it. Putting up with it is not the way to go with this. I'm doing that with the Achilles as it is, but for the hamstring I probably need to get it rest from running, just do more on bike. I can keep the intensity, sweet spot intensity on the bike, no problem. It won't affect my hamstring, so I shouldn't lose too much fitness if I don't run for a week. But that could be all I need, and then get some rehab, strength work, specifics on the hamstring once it's had some recovery, and then should get back to running, no dramas. Next race due 7th of June. So that is now the new target. Make the start line. It doesn't matter what shape I'm in, just run pain-free. Flipping heck, that didn't go to plan. 2k on the treadmill and the hamstring feels worse than ever. So yeah, I'm not even going to go out and do the run session. I'm going to revert to bike to see if I can do a sweet spot on the bike. I think I probably overdid the hamstring strength work yesterday without letting the hamstring actually rest and recover before hitting the rehab. Oh, what a plonker! Right, I had to go and change into some cycling shorts because I had run kit on. Yeah, it's a bit painful sitting on that saddle in run shorts. Didn't expect this to be the problem. What an idiot. Right, no more strength training for a week on the hamstring. Rehab it in a week's time. No running for the rest of this week. Okay, hold me to it. Hold me to account. Stop me if you see me running. Well, I'm not getting much of a feel-good factor from this session. It feels like a faff. But we've got to remain positive. Now, hitting a sweet spot session on the bike is going to be very difficult. I have done no intensity on the bike for months. And I don't think I can correlate the effort, heart rate, perceived effort, power on the bike to anything at all like the Norwegian method for running. So I'm just going to pretty much go on feel, do a cumulative session, which is based on kind of sprint, recover, sprint, recover, sprint, recover, high cadence, and hopefully the heart rate will build over time and I'll get the right level of feel as that session progresses. It's in blocks. We'll have a quick look, see how it goes, but it is very much tick over, make sure I don't lose the aerobic fitness. Yeah, no running for a week I think for me. Right, I'm going to do 20/40s, but I'm likely going to have to reduce the power percentage of FTP. I'm not going to be churning out, what is it, 300 and something, yeah, 380 watts. I know it's only 20 seconds, but having done no intensity whatsoever, not a good idea. Let's get it up on the screen. A good replicator of kind of like the 45-second 15s, a minute on, minute off, equivalent for running. Just a quick burst, recover, quick burst, recover, to get the aerobic system ramped up. Hopefully it won't mash the legs too much, and I'll adjust the FTP bias here accordingly. Let's have a look, see what 90% is. Bearing in mind my FTP has not been measured for ages as well, so that's probably really not accurate either. Okay, about to start set number 2. The heart rate didn't get above 123 on the first block of 5, and I felt the hamstring a little bit as well, so we're going to monitor it on this one. But I might be a bit more warmed up and it might be better. Some activity for the heart, for the hamstring is good. Total rest I don't think is the thing to do. I think the sensations and the feel are about right for this session to work the system, the sub-threshold system, in a sort of on-off way. Heart rate is absolutely nowhere near, but as I said, no comparison for running. This is just to maintain. Help me when I get back to the running. Two reps to go on this final block. I've lowered the FTP bias to 78%. I think this is just about right to spin the legs with a bit of power, get the blood flowing to help rehab the hamstring rather than hinder it by working it too hard. There we go. Yeah, I can virtually ignore heart rate. It's just 20-second bursts isn't long enough for heart rate to come into the measuring of the effort. I think a better mark would be 40/20s with a lower power, more of a threshold type heart and lungs aerobic set. Might try that one later this week. This is just a tester. See how the hamstring feels. Okay, last 20-second burst and then we're done. Woohoo! There we go. Well, look on the bright side. At least I got something done. This YouTube channel's been going 3 years in October. I've lost count of the number of resets I've had. But hopefully if I stick with this Norwegian method, it will limit the injuries I've experienced, and I've just got to stick with it and learn it. I've got a raft of road races running planned for the summer. As I said, next one 7th of June, so just under 3 weeks away. So I'll play it sensible, don't do any running, force myself not to do any running for the next week. That still gives me kind of almost 2 weeks to see how the hamstring feels with a bit of light running and then a few strides is probably all I need, and go into that race with no expectations, just be healthy, run it and not have any niggles in the hamstring. Okay, thanks for joining. Bit of a weird broken session. We had to pivot, that's what you got to do. As I said, the body is not a robot, so you just need to deal with what's thrown at you and try and be sensible, which I'm not very good at. So thank you to everybody who responded to my YouTube shorts saying, nah, don't run the Mid-Cheshire 5k, rest it, rehab it, don't ruin the season. And that's what I'm going to do. See you in the next video.